Nutrilite Leaves 360 Healthy Living and Healthy Weight Management Program. We have entered to a new year. Only last 3 days. First day we didn't have any program, and we all know that this year normally we used to take some New Year resolutions and all, but our resolution of a good healthy living was started in the last year itself. And let's spread this message across to all our people, all our friends and relatives, and let this new year we have more and more people joining in our journey. So today, I'm the host for today. My name is Suresh Kumar. I'm from Kerala. And today it is going to be a very, very interesting topic. I'm telling you, because I can assure you one thing that this today's session is going to give you more insights about one particular topic. It is coenzyme Q10 and healthy heart. Very, very interesting topic. And before I introduce the speaker, I have a very, very special guest joined today. He is not a guest. He is our family member now. And I don't know if sir is joining from where today. And it is none other than Dr. Shah. So let's invite Dr. Shah with a big round of applause. Welcome, sir. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Happy New Year, Suresh Kumar. Long time no see. Since last year we have not met. So anyway, great. Good morning, everyone. Today is a special day. Obviously, I had my workout. I had my exercise today as usual. And what happened was I also encountered a wonderful study today on protein and anabolism. But before I start that talk, today I just want to also introduce our speaker, Anshuman Mohanty. Anshuman comes with years of experience in pharmaceutical formulation, nutraceutical formulations, botanical formulations. So we are distinctly honored to have Anshuman here on our side to talk about the coenzyme Q10 and the critical importance of the molecule for our heart health. Of course, coenzyme Q10 has multiple other functions. I give it to my family members, especially aged family members, because it's a critical molecule for everybody. I feel it is an important molecule for energy generation. So many functions. So I want to steal the thunder from Anshuman today. So, but before Anshuman comes on board, I just want to tell you this very interesting study which I saw, because I was always under the impression we have to, and not impression, because this is what is known in the scientific literature, that we have to consume not more than 25 grams of protein per sitting, because uh, there is because you cannot digest it, or your body cannot use it, or because the rest of the protein goes into a catabolic state, which is basically degraded, right? So there's no point of taking more than 25 grams of protein. So this study challenges that traditional wisdom. And why it was important? Because it's published in a very, very famous journal, and with such details that I was mesmerized by the details of this particular study. Because when science comes up and throws out this twist, in my understanding, it always puts me in a kind of a bind. My God, last 10, 15 years, 20 years, what I've been thinking is not exactly correct. Yes, reasonably okay, but not exactly correct. A new wisdom has come in, new knowledge has come in. So this particular study was done in that way. Said so we believe that in spreading the protein intake throughout the day for muscle growth, which is still valid. That is still valid. However, this new research suggests that we might have more flexibility, right? So in this study, what they did, they took 36 men. These 36 men underwent heavy resistance training. And then they were divided into three groups. One received placebo, meaning almost nothing, like water or something. The other received 25 grams of milk protein. The third received 100 grams of milk protein. I mean, we are just using the milk protein as an example. It could be any protein. So 25 grams of protein, 100 grams of protein, and one group has nothing, no protein. After the resistance training. So what they monitored was over a period of 24 hours in their blood. They took their blood and monitored. And the results were what I'm going to tell you. First one, the anabolic response. What is the anabolic response? The response of the muscle to protein ingestion. When you ingest a protein, the response of the muscle is to build, right? So the anabolic response of protein has no limit. What they found that a 100-gram protein group showed a 30% higher muscle protein synthesis over 12 hours than the 25-gram group, right? So 100-gram group showed a 30% higher muscle protein synthesis. What does it mean? Means that your muscle is building when you take when this group took 100 gram versus the group which took 25 gram. So 30% more building in 100-gram group, which was again a surprise to me. Of course, nobody can take 100 grams in one sitting, right? This is really meant for heavy builders. But it is also for me an alert that we can possibly take a higher than 25 grams of protein in one meal, and it would have positive impact on the body. And of course, we have heard about the kidney issues and everything. So there's no basis for that kind of stories, right? It's all, of course, for some people with kidney disease, yes, watch out for that. But otherwise, normal people can easily metabolize these amounts of protein. But the second most important point I want to highlight from this study is that the earlier assumption that majority of the amino acids coming from this protein is going into a catabolic state or an oxidative state, meaning it's getting degraded, is also false. So the paper is saying that these 100-gram protein people who took 100-gram protein people, majority of the amino acids are getting utilized for the body, not to burn and be thrown as a waste. So which is again an eye-opener for me, that wow, the body is so efficient in utilizing the protein. Because remember, our ancients, what they used to do, they used to go for hunting, right? They used to eat, meat, right? They used to consume those, and then when they consume those meat, obviously they used to consume because they didn't have refrigerators, they didn't have cold temperatures, they have to finish the meal. So they used to eat a lot of protein, right? So they used to be fit, right? Of course, they died of other diseases, but not because of lack of fitness, right? They must have died of snake bite or a tiger bite, right? So things like that, but not because they were weak. So they used to take a lot of protein. So one side note I want to also say that this protein anabolism, the muscle anabolism, happens after you exercise over a period of 4 to 12 hours. It's not like once you exercise, you eat the protein and your muscles start building and stop. No, the muscle building goes on for 12 hours at least, if not more, right? So that is the beauty of anabolic exercises or resistance training, because you build your muscle and the muscle continues to build for you even when you're sleeping. That is the beauty, right? So that is why the exercise is a critical component, but along with that, the protein to support that. So bottom line, these results simply imply that large amounts of protein are effectively used for muscle anabolism, but require time for digestion and absorption. You feel more satiated when you take more protein. You feel less interest to snack. I mean, some of you have already noticed that, right? So importantly, a single large protein intake leads to prolonged muscle building. So continuous muscle building, reducing the need for frequent protein-rich meals. Otherwise, we are always saying, "Oh, I had only this much protein in breakfast. Now let me look for protein in the lunch. Let me put for protein in the dinner." Hey, if you finish majority of the protein meal earlier in the day, not 100 gram. I'm not recommending 100 gram for sure, but I'm saying majority of the protein you're eating in the morning, that is more than sufficient for you to cover to the rest of the day, right? So 1 gram per kilo of your body weight is what you need. 1 gram or 0.8 grams per kilo of body weight. But that is for sedentary individuals, people who are not doing much, people who are walking to the office, going to the office. But somebody even doing some exercise, they need to up their protein intake to build the muscle, right? So that's all from my side today. I just wanted to reflect on that particular thought and how science changes constantly and challenges my own thinking, which I thought was correct for a long time, right? Anyway, so that's all from my side, team. Have a great rest of the day, and let me invite none other than Anshuman to entertain us with the amazing story of CoQ10. Anshuman, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sham, for the wonderful introduction, and wish you all a happy and prosperous new year. So we are starting sessions in the new year as Mr. Sureshji told that it's a wonderful year. Let's have a very good resolution and let's join this program in a huge way because this is a life-changing program, I should say. And it's a great insight, Dr. Sham. The protein intake, starting the day with a huge protein intake so that throughout the day, the protein gets replaced and the muscle gets built is a great input. So with this, let's start our today's topic. So let me share my screen. Okay. Is my screen up?
Yeah.
Sure.
You can make it full screen, sir.
Sure. So thank you, team, and thank you for having me. So today is day 41. So we have come a long way, and this Nutrilite Live 360 program is doing wonders in people's life. I mean, we are changing the life. We are changing the health of people. So it is one of the dream of our dearest Prime Minister also, and our country is gradually getting old. So and the metabolic disease, lifestyle disease are growing like anything. So with this campaign, we are helping our country to be remaining, to remain healthy and strong. So with this, today's topic is key for your heart and CoQ10. So you might have already known throughout the program till that heart is one of the major organ in your body, and everybody knows heart start before birth, goes to death. It continuously beats and beats and beats, and we might take rest. Our muscles, other muscles might take rest, but heart doesn't take rest, right? So it is one of the most important organ of our body, contributing almost all life process, contributing to almost all life process with energy, with nutrient, everything. So we'll discuss it further. Along with heart, there is a term you have seen, CoQ10, right? So it is coenzyme Q10. So how coenzyme Q10 is very, very important, not for heart, and not only for heart, for all parts of your body and throughout our life. So let's start this wonderful discussion. So before going to further discussion, I want you to get habituated with, or let you know about some of the terms. So this is the first one: energy currency of cell, that is ATP, right? So some of you might have heard of ATP. So before going to this ATP discussion, let me give you some example. We have mobile phone. Everybody is having mobile phone, right? This is the mobile phone. Okay. So the mobile phone contains battery, right? And we charge every day mobile up to 100%, and we utilize. At the end of the day, again the battery gets discharged. We need to recharge again to be able to utilize this mobile, right? So this charging discharging cycle of the battery goes on. How long it goes on? It starts from the manufacturing of the battery and it goes on until it can be charged and discharged, right? So this, similarly, our body needs energy for all process. You think any process, you name any process, for that energy is needed. Now, we need to continuously generate energy. We need to store energy so that that energy can be utilized, right? So there is a battery, like in mobile, there is a battery. In our body, energy is stored in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. You can see here my mouse. This is the group, adenosine and ribose group, and you can see 3 green phosphate group. That's why it is named as triphosphate, right? So this triphosphate, what is this? Is the energy store in this triphosphate. So this ATP is stored inside our cell everywhere, right? When one phosphate goes out, there is a production of energy. You can see here energy, and this energy is utilized for whole body process. Like you use the charge when the mobile is charged, we use it. The battery starts depleting. We use the energy. So what happens? This among this 3 phosphate, 1 phosphate goes out and it produces energy. So when 1 phosphate goes out, there remains 2 phosphate. This is called ADP, adenosine diphosphate. This is adenosine triphosphate. So now the battery is in discharge condition, right? Now we have to again charge it. So how to charge it? You take carbohydrate, protein, fat from these foods with energy. The phosphate is again bound to this molecule. Again, it becomes 3 phosphate. So battery is now charged. Now it is ready for again use. So this cycle continues to go on. Repeatedly, this cycle goes on throughout our life. And this energy production continues. So this energy is utilized in different, you name any function of your body, this energy is utilized. So first is muscle contraction, right? You contract your muscle in every activity, in every work, may it be exercise, maybe anything else, right? Your muscle is contracted. Even if you are sitting, right? When you are sitting, you are not doing anything, still your back muscle is working to keep you in erect posture. You are talking, this muscle is working. Your every muscle inside your mouth is working. You are thinking, right? Even you are not doing anything, you are straight away lying down, still there are certain muscle which are working. That is heart muscle, right? So we'll talk about this more. So muscle contraction, DNA replication, right? From one DNA to second DNA, like from one cell to another cell produces. So inside the cell DNA is there, DNA replication, nerve impulse propagation, right? So to be able to know that something, today there is so much cold outside and I am able to know. How I am able to know? Due to my nerve endings. My nerve tells me, the information goes to my brain, and my brain telling me that the outside is very cold, right? Mitosis, meiosis, these are the cell division process. Mitosis happens in normal body cell, meiosis happens in reproductive cells. Digestion, see, when you take food gets digested, it gets absorbed, but for digestion and absorption, energy is needed, right? Protein synthesis, all kinds of protein synthesis energy is needed. Ion transport, active transport, other any kind of life process, you name it, energy is needed. So what we learned from this, this slide, that energy currency of the cell is ATP. It's like a battery. It needs charging and discharging. So it goes through a cycle, ATP, ADP cycle. ATP converts to ADP, produce energy. Again, ADP converts to ATP. It gets recharged. So this produce energy which supports all our life process, right? So we learned about ATP. Next, learn about what is coenzyme. So to learn to know what is coenzyme, because our topic contains coenzyme Q10. To make you guys, I mean, some of you might be knowing, to make you guys understand, or everybody understand what is coenzyme, let me first, let you know what is enzyme actually. So when we talk about enzyme, it's about this here, this photo you can see, it contains 3 parts, right? This photo is called holoenzyme. When we call it enzyme, it is a holoenzyme. Holo means complete. And it contains 1 part. This is protein part. This purple, this is non-protein part, and this is called coenzyme. What is an enzyme? Before going to coenzyme, what is an enzyme? I'll tell you one example. I mean, everybody knows this example. Say for you are going for any, you are going to court, right? As some of you might have gone, some of you might not have gone for any kind of work. If you do it by yourself, you can also do it by yourself. You have to understand the process. You have to go to the court, do the documentation by yourself. And say, for example, the work takes 30 days to complete, right? Now, what you do, you take the help of one agent or lawyer. It's the same work. You pay him, the same work gets completed in 5 days or say for 10 days. Why? That lawyer did not do anything different. The amount of work is same. You have to learn, you have to do it slowly, step by step, but it takes 30 days. But lawyer did it in 5 days. So what lawyer did? Lawyer did the work in a speed up process. The lawyer is an enzyme here. Likewise, when a work happens, an enzyme comes into play, enzyme does not get changed. The lawyer does not get changed, but what enzyme does, it completes the work in a easier way, in a simpler way, in a faster way, right? So it acts as a catalyst. Enzyme is a catalyst. So it speeds up the reaction. Here you can see the purple part. This purple part is coenzyme. So it's a non-protein part, but this takes part in the reaction process. It gives shape to the total enzyme. It is responsible for the formation of active part of the enzyme, right? So it's a non-protein part. It takes part in chemical reaction. It provides shapes to the enzyme. So in a simpler word, coenzyme is an integral part of an enzyme. And without coenzyme, the enzyme might not be so much efficient, right? So it's an integral part of enzyme. It gives property to the enzyme. So now you understood enzyme and coenzyme. Let's understood coenzyme Q10. CoQ10. Here you can see in green we have written CoQ10. Co means coenzyme. Q means Q refers to the quinone chemical. So Q and 10, these are the part of the chemical structure. This first one is quinone. And here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 isoprene units. So the name is like that, coenzyme Q10. I think I made it clear. Co refers to coenzyme, Q refers to quinone, 10 refers to number of isoprene chemical units. So the name itself suggests that it's coenzyme Q10. Now that we knew about coenzyme Q10, what is an enzyme? So let's understand little bit more about type of coenzyme Q10, right? So inside our body, coenzyme Q10 is always working. Like the energy production is always there. So coenzyme Q10 is always working. How it is working, we'll go to understand. So there are two types of coenzyme. One is ubiquinone. In last, you can see ONE. Second one is ubiquinol. The last, you can see OL. So some of you might be science students. You might understand that this is a ketone. Not for all. I mean, just for information, I am telling this is a ketone. This is an alcohol. But same. So what happens? This ubiquinone and ubiquinol, both are there available inside our body. When you take coenzyme Q10, it goes as ubiquinone form. When you eat it, it gets absorbed, and inside blood it converts into ubiquinol, and inside cell again it converts into ubiquinol. So this conversion continues to happen. This ubiquinol is reduced form, this is oxidized form, slightly oxidized form. Both are soluble in oil. So this is overall, some of the physical properties. These are the two molecules. So from this slide, what we understood, there are two forms of coenzyme Q10. One form is ubiquinone, one form is ubiquinol. Both are constantly interconverting inside our body based on the requirement and based on the situation. So let's go to next page. Yeah, this is very important. Let's understand the history of coenzyme Q10. How did it, get discovered? What is the story so far behind it? So what happened in 1957? A scientist called Crane, he took a beef heart, and from that beef heart he isolated an yellow color, crystalline structure, yellow color substance, and that was named as coenzyme Q10 from beef heart. But at the time, he did not know about this structure or this structure. So in 1958, Focus he's another scientist. He discovered that this is having this structure, coenzyme having this structure. In 1974, what happened? Japan. So 1958. Sorry, I switched one. 1958, Focus discovered chemical structure. 1970, there are two scientists. They came to know that coenzyme Q10 is associated with heart. So heart disease, coenzyme Q10 are linked. Post that in 1974, they then discovered, after 1970, they discovered that did some clinical trial and came to know that it is linked with heart disease and it helps for heart failure. In 1974, Japan approved coenzyme Q10 in heart failure. In 1978, Mitchell is a scientist. He was awarded Nobel Prize for coenzyme Q10 discovery. What he discovered? In mitochondrial energy production. If you remember in the first slide, I have mentioned about energy, ATP, right? So this ATP production happens inside mitochondria, and that was discovered by Mitchell. That's why he was awarded Nobel Prize. 1985, this coenzyme Q10 was associated with cardiomyopathy, another heart disease. 1986, the work continued. In 1990, it became available in USA. So until now, coenzyme Q10 was not produced inside laboratory or inside any company or any premises. In 2007, Kaneka Corporation, they prepared coenzyme Q10 by the process of fermentation, that is, ubiquinol. So this is the overall journey. You can see coenzyme Q10 two forms. So this is very important. Now that we knew about coenzyme Q10 discovery, let's understand how it acts. So you know that our body is made up of cells, like the bricks in a wall. There are millions and billions of cells in our body. So this left side, this blue part, you can see one cell, right? In the cell, this cell has been cut like this to show you what are there inside the cell. You can see nucleus is there. There are other things are there. Other cell organelles inside cell. These are called organelle, small cell organelles, right? Here you can see the brown color. These are called mitochondria, and these are the powerhouse of cell. Like you have, if you have one power generator or DG set, you put somewhere in your house, maybe basement, maybe somewhere in the room, so that the electricity comes to your house in case of power failure, right? So your powerhouse is your DG set room, your house powerhouse, right? Similarly, our body is inside our cell, our powerhouse is mitochondria. Why is this so? You can see here the large picture of mitochondria. Inside mitochondria, there are outer membrane. Membrane means the covering, inner membrane, and lot of other like mitochondrial DNA. But here you can see one we have rounded up, ATP synthetase. This small part, these are called inside this small part. Here the ATP production happens, right? And the process is called electron transport system. Inside the process happens is called electron transport system, that happens inside internal membrane of mitochondria, which generates ATP. Now I'll give you simple idea, a very brief idea, how this energy production happens and how CoQ10 helps in this ATP production. So you can see this orange color, this red color, again pink color, and blue color. These are all complex. When I say complex, these are some of the enzyme complex. It is number 1, it is number 2, it is number 3, this is number 4. So from complex 1, so this is the outer membrane, I mean outside cover. This is the inner membrane, inside cover. The inner membrane has been zoomed to show you what is there in a diagram way. For the first complex, second complex, coenzyme is here. You can see the yellow color is coenzyme. It takes electron, right? Then it transfers this electron to complex 3. It takes electron from complex 1 and complex 2 and transfer these 2 electrons to complex 3, right? Then further process happens in complex 4. At last, you can see here, this ADP is converting to ATP, it taking 1 phosphorus. You can remember in the first slide, I can mention you, ATP gives away one phosphate, becomes ADP. When it gives up 1 phosphate, energy is given. Then again, ADP converts to ATP. This is the process where ADP again converts to ATP and ATP is synthesized. So here we learned that coenzyme Q10 is playing a major role in preparation, in synthesis of ATP. That's why I have mentioned you ATP and coenzyme Q10 in the first and second slide. So coenzyme Q10 is having major role in ATP synthesis inside mitochondria of a cell, right? Now that we understood about cell, mitochondria, where coenzyme Q10 is there, how it is producing ATP, let's understand a bit more about the mitochondria, where they are present, and our today's topic, heart. I had mentioned about heart. It's a it's very, very important organ of our body, and heart is made of muscle, right? It's a type of muscle. So there are different types of muscle. You can tell that I have another muscle in my hand, in my legs, right? Muscles are there, and heart also muscles are there, but these are 2 different types of muscle. Heart is designed, nature is such a beautiful, I mean, the nature's preparation, nature's manufacturing, it's such a high end that heart muscle has been designed in a way that it will start before your birth, start functioning, and it will continue functioning until the end of the life. So how heart contains a muscle that is known as cardiac muscle. Our normal muscle is skeletal muscle. This is heart. This is slightly magnified version of heart muscle. These are muscle fibers of the heart. And here you can see heart muscle has very high number of mitochondria. These blue organelles, normally it's not blue or it's not red. To make us understand, we have given different colors. These blue are the mitochondria. And you can see there are huge amount of mitochondria inside heart muscle. So heart muscle contains higher number of mitochondria than skeletal muscle. It runs continuously from before birth to death, but skeletal muscle runs sometime it takes rest. And there is a process called oxidative phosphorylation. Like I mentioned, the ATP electron transport system. So this is the oxidative phosphorylation. In that, electron transport system happens. So cardiac muscles source of energy is oxidative phosphorylation.
Sure.
Yeah. So we understood about heart and details about heart. Let's slightly understood about the circulatory system. As you know, heart is the center part of our body. This red is for arterial circulation, blue is for venous circulation. So heart circulates blood to different organelle, oxidized blood, and the carbon dioxide rich blood again comes to heart. So it continuously circulate throughout our lifetime. So heart is very important organ of our body. So now that we understood everything, we have listed out the function of coenzyme Q10. The first one is energy production, as I have mentioned already. Antioxidant protection. When coenzyme Q10 is in ubiquinol form inside the blood, it protects all your lipids, like even the low density lipoprotein, the lipoprotein with cholesterol. Cholesterol is very important. People tell that cholesterol is bad. No, cholesterol plays a very important role in our body when it is not oxidized. So coenzyme Q10 helps them not to get oxidized, so it becomes an antioxidant in function, heart health, as I mentioned, mitochondrial function, anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective, it protects the neuron, muscle health, migraine, skin health, immune support, anti-aging. There are a lot of function of coenzyme Q10 in our body. Now let's understand slightly bit about how coenzyme Q10 deficiency affects our body. By aging, when we age, the coenzyme Q10 production reduces. So coenzyme Q10 is also produced inside our body. So coenzyme Q10 production reduces. When coenzyme Q10 production reduces, aging symptoms starts, right? Different aging symptoms starts. So when coenzyme Q10 production reduces, what happens? Vitamin B6, is reduced inside our body. With the reduced production of coenzyme Q10, your heart muscle becomes weak and it leads to cardiomyopathy or heart failure. Cardiomyopathy is enlargement of heart when it is unable to pump, and it leads to heart failure. When the oxidative stress is high, it leads to arrhythmia and angina. Arrhythmia is irregular beating of heart. Angina is chest pain due to heart. Overall fatigue, the person becomes fatigued. Exercise intolerance. When you do small exercise also, you found it, no, you are not able to do it. Muscle tone and coordination reduces, right? Myopathy, muscle degeneration happens. This is all due to reduced coenzyme Q10 production due to aging. And there are certain drugs, there are certain medicines, if you take, coenzyme Q10 production depletes in our body. One example is statins, like atorvastatin, or some statin doctor prescribe for the cholesterol reduction. They happen to deplete coenzyme Q10 production in our body. So you can discuss with your doctor. If you are on statins, you can discuss with your doctor for coenzyme Q10 supplementation. You have to discuss with your doctor. Without discussing with your doctor, you should not take it. So as I mentioned, with age, coenzyme Q10 depletes in our body. You can see here first graph. Here is age, 20 years, 40 years, 80 years. And here you can see coenzyme Q10 level. At 20 years, it is at highest 100% level. At 40 years, it goes down to 68%. And by the age of 80 years, it goes further down to near about 42 to 43%. So this is overall coenzyme Q10. If you see inside here similar picture, 20 year, 40 year, 60 year, 80 year, and coenzyme Q10 level in different organ. Here whole in a body, here different organ. You can see different organs. Liver also it reduced from 100 to 83%, lungs to 65%, kidney to 51% from 100%. But in heart, the highest degradation of coenzyme Q10 occurs from 100% to 42%. So from this slide, we came to know that with aging, our coenzyme Q10 production significantly decreases in heart. Hence, we need to take supplementation for coenzyme Q10. There are different foods here we have mentioned. I mean, from egg, cage-free eggs to cauliflowers, broccoli, pistachio nuts, right? Different fish, strawberry, beef. All this can give you coenzyme Q10 supplementation. Sorry. But due to highly processing nature of food, we take processed foods, balanced diet is not available nowadays. People are not taking balanced diet. Nutrition deficient food. If you take even these foods also, 30 or 50 years before, this food contains different amount of nutrients. Nowadays, the nutrient has deficient. The foods are deficient of nutrient. There are toxic chemicals. People use fertilizers, modern farming practices. This all reduce the presence of coenzyme Q10, depletion of coenzyme Q10 in food. Again, we discussed that by aging also coenzyme Q10 depletes in our body. Pollution and oxidative stress. Nowadays, the pollution has increased manifold. For that, the body has to work more. Due to increased oxidative stress, the usage of coenzyme is high inside our body. that also lead to decrease in coenzyme Q10. So overall, we understood from this slide that coenzyme Q10 is decreasing in our body gradually day by day. In spite of food you are taking, in spite of, whatever you are doing, still coenzyme Q10 is depleting. Hence, we need to supplement our body with coenzyme Q10. Now I'll explain with you small in a very short way how coenzyme Q10 is helping your body. So there was a famous clinical trial in doctor fraternity. It is called Q-Symbio trial. This trial was published in a prestigious journal of American College of Cardiology. So many cardiologists refer to this trial. This trial happened for 2 years. There are 420 participants. Many countries simultaneously took part, maybe Italy, Germany, Poland, Russia, Ukraine, Bulgaria. What happened? The patients were included, the heart failure patients were included in this trial. They were on standard treatment, 18 to 75 years old. They didn't have, it was taken care that they didn't have any other major overall except from heart, maybe not kidneys not failed, so other organ is not affected. So these were the inclusion criteria. By this rules, people are included, 420 participants, and the outcome was very, very significant. There was a 43 reduction in major cardiac events like heart stroke, heart attack. There was a 43% drop. 43%. So what I just missed, these people were given coenzyme Q10 supplement, right? In one part, people are given placebo. In another wing, people are given coenzyme Q10 300 milligram a day. So the outcome is 43% reduction is major cardiac events, 43% reduction is death due to cardiac event or heart, 42% overall death reduction. So 42% reduction in death due to overall any cause, less hospital stay, less fatigue, and overall well-being. So you can see the major drop in the cardiac event, major drop in the death, and major well-being. The overall, standard of quality of living has increased due to coenzyme supplementation to the patients having heart problem. So this was the famous trial, and this proves this coenzyme Q10 supports heart health and overall health. Right? With this, we have to unlock the heart health. How we have to unlock? With an holistic approach. Holistic approach, like we have learned in this 360 program, balanced diet, optimal sleep, right? Exercise, optimal hydration. When I say balanced diet with proper supplementation of coenzyme Q10 and other supplementation we have discussed so far. Reduce stress, healthy social life. We have to try to reduce stress by healthy social life, right? Our gatherings. We had one session about social life and regular health checkup. So these are all steps by which we can have a healthy heart. So this is, overall discussion about coenzyme Q10, about heart, how it affects heart, how we can get benefit out of supplementation of coenzyme Q10. So at last, I'll mention you the activity of the day. So with this program, some of you might have started, habituation, inculcating different habits, good habits in you. So share the good habit you have inculcated for heart health, right? With this, I would stop my presentation, and this is all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. One second, sir. Thank you so much, Anshuman. That was a great knowledge sharing, actually. Yeah. So it was an amazing day, actually. The day started with the amazing knowledge sharing tips by Dr. Shyam. And it was really, really interesting because many of us had a lot of doubt on whether if we take more of protein other than more than 20 grams of protein, will it cause any damage to the body, all those doubts we had, and he has shared a research data and proved that it is good. It is not creating much of problems for us. Amazing. After that, one of the toughest topic but very interesting topic was actually covered by Anshuman in a very, very nice way. I really liked it, sir. It was wonderful. Maybe one of the sessions which I seen in the recent past, very best session which I've seen, because we know you are talking all technical terms for a layman like us, ubiquinol, and you are giving a lot of examples. We can't forget that example of lawyer, how enzyme work. So for us now, enzyme means lawyer. Okay, coenzyme Q10 means battery charger or battery, battery of the mobile. Excellent. So it was a wonderful day. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for detailing, one by one. And I also like the way you actually spoke in the end of the session, in end of the each slide. This is the nutshell of the slide. Thank you so much. Wonderful. I'm sure